It's always fantastic to have this young man on the show with us. A brief history of the Valentine's Day, if you want to find out what it's all about, and which wine would go best with that Valentine's Day meal. Well, we have Rob Statham with us. He is the wine, spirits, and beer consultant with the drunkengrape.ca. Good to see you here.
Yeah, great to have you back.
I called you a young man right there, too.
Well, you know, I feel it anyway.
And I also said
consolation at middle age, but
you're doing well. And I also said your Valentine's Day day meal, but you know this is going to go right into the nighttime. Is what I'm thinking with the stuff you brought here.
It is. So, yeah, just a bit of fun facts about the history of Valentine's Day. It started off with a Roman festival called Lupercalia in around the 4th century BC. So we're going back. This was a festival that took place in the middle of February, and it was a bit drunken and a little debaucherous. Very typical of Romans. Lots of wine consumed.
Okay.
And what had happened was, moving forward into the 2nd or 3rd century, AD, the emperor Claudius II had put to death two gentlemen named Valentine on different years within that time frame. Okay. They were both Christian clerics. So what had happened was, moving forward, the Pope in the 4th century had Gelasius had declared February 14th a martyr day of St. Valentine's. Mm-hmm. So what had happened was this celebration steadily picked up. We move into the Middle Ages with the poet Chaucer and the playwright Shakespeare romanticizing Valentine's Day, just based on the tragedy of what happened to these two Christian clerics.
Well, yeah, because that doesn't sound very romantic at all, what happened
No,
there.
But they started to turn it around in a way that really romanticized it. By the 16th century, Europeans were exchanging cards on Valentine's Day, and this is how this tradition started.
Interesting.
And then, of course, it migrates to North America with the influx of Europeans. By the mid-19th century, you have the first commercial production of Valentine's cards. In 1913, the great Hallmark out of Kansas City starts mass producing them themselves. It's crazy.
That's interesting, because that really, when you think about it, you think of maybe like some kind of very romantic story happened years ago or something like that.
Well, there's many variations. That's just one of them. I mean, of course, you've got Cupid with the arrow in the heart is the other little telltale story.
Yeah, what is the story of Cupid?
Mythos.
It's just like, is Cupid real, Rob?
No idea. Mythology.
You never know, right?
You never know.
When did the cinnamon hearts come into play? That's what I'm curious about, right?
The chocolates.
That had something to do with Shakespeare, perhaps, right? The Drunken Grape. So how long have you been around for at this point?
Coming up to almost 2.5 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's moving along now. Just recently did an event at Gumdocks for a bunch of dentists. We talked about the wines of Napa.
Really?
So I've been contracting and commissioned out lately. Hosted a booth at Wine and Food Show on the wines of Roussillon. So a lot of good things coming along. So, steadily building.
So what exactly do you do with the Drunken Grape? I know you've been on the show a bunch of times, but if people are watching you here for the first time, what exactly is the Drunken Grape all about?
Well, it's consultative. I help bring people to market. I also host events, tastings privately, for corporate or private gatherings. We also do education. So I can be brought in to talk about, in this case I was brought in to talk about Napa because they were giving a gift away for a wine tour and planning a wine tour in October about Napa. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun, and these are a lot of the things I'm engaged in.
That's something.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Very nice. When it comes to Valentine's Day, so is this probably, because I believe we had you on for the Christmas season.
Yes.
What time of year are we talking about spirits and wine and ales the most? Would it be Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, any real Hallmark holiday, right? So you have Valentine's Day, you have Christmas Day, you have Easter, Thanksgiving.
Of course.
These days tend to really roll out in, anyway, in North American and Western European culture, and in Eastern European culture as well. These are the predominant regions where alcohol is widely consumed and part of the everyday lifestyle. Yeah, and it becomes part of these actual festivities, birthdays.
But it seems like wine is probably synonymous with romance a little bit more?
Absolutely. I mean, you think of this Primus blend from Chautauqua Valley. This is in central Chile, just 135.
Valley. I like that.
Yes, 130 miles or 130 kilometers south of Santiago, the capital. So it means the Valley of Small Lakes. Was originally settled by the Incas, the southernmost point of the Incan Empire, and vines were first planted by Spanish Jesuit priests to have wines for sacrament. So this wine is a modern-day blend, mostly Cab Sauv, hints of chocolate, very rich and dark fruit. It's actually rated 93 points by a master of wine. Really? Terrific wine. I think only about $20, so an absolute steal for its rating and ranking. And you think, pair it with something that's a blend of dark and milk chocolate.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely. Right after dinner, fantastic.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of wines now infused with chocolate? Because that just seems like a
Well, it's more the
pairing.
barreling process that brings out some of those notes. Certain grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon will bring out coca, mocha, chocolatey notes in with the fruit notes, depending on the time spent in barrel.
Okay.
And that definitely has an influence on it.
That's something, okay.
Yeah, no, it's very
So you're
cool.
saying a chocolatey kind of wine, and you pair that with chocolate.
Yes, and very rich, and it's
overload.
very rich. It's very warming. Weather's bad right now. It's cold.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to remember, 62% of adults celebrate Valentine's Day. It's over a $20 billion industry now.
Wow, that's
I guess
a lot.
the other 38% are single, so I don't really have to worry about it.
They're just bitter about something. I can understand. Okay, your second choice?
It's a Prosecco. So we're looking at a nice sparkling. Now, Prosecco I've always thought is a great value buy. This one comes from the Prosecco region, which is just north of Venice. And the grape, first cultivated in around the 1540s, has really developed this very light, fruity style. It's the Glera grape is the actual grape that produces Prosecco.
Okay.
And you're looking at something in this kind of side that's a little sweet. So it'll blend in with desserts. As an aperitif as well, chocolates, because you always think chocolate seems to be synonymous with Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
it's one of the key gifts to bring. I don't know many women that get miserable when chocolates are handed to them.
They don't want that at all.
So it's definitely a terrific pairing with that, and definitely a terrific gift idea.
Okay.
And these are affordable. You know, I picked out things at around $20 in range. That's a very happy medium in wine purchasing.
Oh, it's very affordable, and it goes a long way when it comes to happiness. And
It's true, and you got to figure out the average man spends about $150 in North America.
How
on
much?
Valentine's Day, women spend about $80. So combined, $230 on the actual day of celebration.
Wow.
It's incredible.
All right.
Fancy dinner somewhere. You
I
can
got
go
to
to
keep those
Sur
numbers
Lee.
in
It's a
mind.
great restaurant.
Rob Statham, that's true, the
It is. My friend
drunkengrape.ca.
Neil goes.
Thank you very much, Rob, for being here as always.
Hey, terrific. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Coming up, Catherine Clark and Julie Finley join us next on Daytime.